Hello, Allah. Good evening. Are you able to hear me? Okay. Everything's set up now, right? Do you have any issues? Anybody? Okay. Shall we start up then? Okay. So what I do is like line is a little bit disturbance if I don't mute. So I will mute all. So whenever you have questions, you can message me in go to meeting so that I will unmute. We'll discuss. Okay. Yeah. So before starting, any questions anybody have? If nobody have questions means I'll go ahead and mute all. Okay. Okay. So today we'll go for like a little bit brief history about our testing. Okay. So how our testing industry born. So how will be the opportunities for testing if you choose a career. Another thing is like in your IT industry you'll come across so many platforms. In other words also you can say like technologies like Java, .NET, Cbel, Oracle apps, like the so many are available, so many platforms. In testing itself you'll have like manual testing, automation testing. Again if you go for like automation testing there are so many tools like HP tools, QTP, and SEG, Silk Test, Windrunner, SEG, Load Runner, so Selenium, like that. Auto IT test complete. So many tools available. So that is what if you go for manual testing, how will be your career? If you go for like automation testing, how will be your career? Okay, these are the different things we'll try to look for. Okay, so you may be aware of like what do you mean by recession, right? So no good openings. So if government is not financially strong, or if your family is not financially strong, you cut all expenses, right? Exactly like that, company also not financially good, let us assume. So what it does, it will try to cut all unnecessary expenses, sometimes like even monetary expenses also. So at the time they don't try recruiting new employees, right? So that is nothing but like racism. Means simply I have to say means no good openings. No good opening. So government or any of the company financially not strong, so at the time companies completely stop recruiting employees. So that is nothing but like racism, you will call it as. So when we got racism, anybody remember? In the era 2007, mid months it was started. June or July, something like that. Those months it was started. So when it was reached like 2008, around September or something like that, it got hectic state, very bad situation. Do you remember like what happened at that point of time? So in US, Lehman Brothers got collapsed. What is Lehman Brothers? Remember, it is not IT company. It is mortgage company. Like banks are there, right? In India, if you take, there are so many banks like ICICI, SBI, HDFC. Like there's so many banks are there. Exactly like that. Even in US, there are so many banks. Barclays Bank, Bank of America, so many banks. What they do, they will be giving loans, right? Like personal loans, home loans, something like that. Different kinds of loans they will provide. Exactly, this Lehman Brothers also like it was provided loans by putting homes. Simply I have to say means like mortgage loans it was provided. Whoever taken loans they should pay back, right? But what happened is like due to their financial struggle or personal issues, they were unable to pay back. So who have taken loans they are unable to pay back means how companies survive? It's very hard, right? So like that, this is the situation really happened for Lehman Brothers. So, try to resolve all possible ways, but unable to resolve. Finally, it got collapsed. So Lehman Brothers is like a world leading mortgage company. So that itself collapsed means all companies, all people, all other industries try thinking about their future and start saving money, right? Exactly that is what happened at this point of time. So all other companies so think about their future and started saving money. Okay, so if that is the case means even customers, clients, end users, so who are like Bank of America or Vodafone, Airtel, Verizon, these are the customers, right? Even for them also it will be applicable, right? Even they don't go for like new projects, so they are not going for new projects. Clients, IT companies, how they get projects from clients only. Clients themselves started saving expenses, started saving money, and they were not giving new projects means IT companies how they will get projects. That means like how they will recruit employees. What is the need of recruiting employees? It's unnecessary, right? So that is what happened actually. So companies started saving. Okay, companies started saving money and even uh, giving projects also clients stop. So that is the reason clients were not getting new projects. Okay, so there is no need of recruiting new employees, right? So that's how it happened. And so and another important thing is like any specific company if you take some percentage of employees they will try to put in bench. What do you mean by bench? Means companies recruiting employees but they don't get assigned immediately projects. It may take 1 month or 2 months or 6 months or 1 year also, some point of time it may take. But why company unnecessarily recruit employees and pay the salaries to them? It's like waste of stuff, right? But the thing is like let us suppose Microsoft they're getting a good project, but for that project immediately it's require like 5,000 employees within 1 month or 2 months. Within a month or two, any of the company, whatever the big company it is, it has to recruit 2,000 employees or 5,000 employees means it's very hard, right? Okay, so what are the level of company it is like each and every company facing issues in maintaining human resources. Every company facing issues. Okay, so what are the reason it is like what are the work employees they are working may not satisfy, or they may look for good domain, good project, a good client, good company. There's so many factors, good money, there's so many factors. Okay, so that's why they look changing projects or companies. So that's the real thing happening. So that is the reason each and every company facing issues in human resource management. So like that, within a month or two, any of the company have to get a huge number of resources means it's very hard, right? That is the reason each and every company depends on their company policies. Some companies maintain like 2%, 3%, 10%, even few companies maintain 12% also. So any this kind of situation happens, so what they do is like they will pull out employees from bench and show resources for this new client and get that project. That is the reason each and every company try maintaining bench people. Okay, so whenever the decision comes up, definitely it will take 2 or 3 years. So you're sure like 2 or 3 more years you're not getting projects. So why you want to keep this bench people? This is what companies thought of and removing all the employees who are in the bench. So like that, who all are working itself have jobs. They themselves losing their jobs means how new employees get job. That is the thing happened during recession. As soon as Lehman Brothers got collapsed, so it will definitely stay 2 or 3 years. So companies stopped recruiting employees. So this is what happened at that point of time. Okay. So, but 2008, 2009, very bad situation. But 2009 ending days, 2010, 11. If you think about like those years, again opportunities were good, and so many people got jobs. But that is with respect to India again. With respect to India again, in India, if you take like 2012 or that one recession, but these days in India not good openings. Everybody is suffering about like getting jobs. Really, in India nowadays, no good openings. But to be frank, who all are trying jobs very seriously, they're getting jobs very easily. Very recently, some girl like Vanita, she had taken training 3 months back. She reached US, sorry, Canada. So she tried just 2 months back. She reached US. 2 or 3 weeks back, she put resume. Just she attended one interview. She got an offer. I mean to say here, like in USA and Canada, these countries these days opportunities are exploring. But 2010, 11 in India very good openings, right? But US no openings at that point of time. So as you're hearing like these days, US is getting stabilizing financially, so getting more and more opportunities. So this is the right time for you to get the job. So if you are in like US or something like that means this is very good time to get the job. Okay. So like that, so nowadays if you go for in India, not good openings to be frank, but still who all are trying seriously, they are getting the jobs. But in US, means very good openings. If you try little bit, you'll get job 100%. There is no doubt. And another thing is like in India means the interview process will be very hectic, but in US interview process is very simple. Okay, if you have green card or something like that means just you attend interviews, you'll get job. Even H1B are these days H1B. How many applications you got? Within 5 days, 1,25,000, 1,30,000 around applications they reached. With this, you get to know like how much competition is, how much opportunities are available in our US. Okay, so this is a very good time for you getting the job. If you try seriously, there is no doubt. Okay, so this is what little bit brief about like decision we got at this point of time. Okay, okay. Then if we go few years back, that means like around year 2000. Okay, we got another recession. For getting recession at this point of time, what is the reason is like Lehman Brothers got collapsed. But what was the reason at that time for getting recession? Anybody aware of? Any idea? Means like Y2K. You would have heard like Y2K problem. What is Y2K? If you remember like Y2K means like year 2000. What is year 2000? Why is cause issues for getting recession? So if you remember at that time we used to maintain years like 2 digits, like 96, 97, 98, 99. Whenever it's turning to 2000, means in place of 99, it's getting replacing with two zeros. 99 plus 00, what happened? Minus 99 or something like that it will go, right? 99 00 means what will happen? So that means all banking transactions going back 100 years, they will get huge loss, right? So this is what the problem they were expected, but they resolved somehow. Okay, so this is the reason for getting recession at that point of time. So whenever 2 digits 99 getting replacing with 00, that means like all banking transactions going back 100 years. That means they'll get huge loss. So that is what they were expected. That is what they were expected, but resolved somehow. Another reason was like, if you remember, 2001 September, World Trade Centers got collapsed. That is another reason for getting recession at that point of time. But remember, these two are not primary reasons. So these two are secondary reasons for getting recession at that point of time. Then what is primary reason? So if you think about like, what is the delivery? If you take like software companies, what they deliver? Projects, right? So that means they will develop softwares for client needs. Very easy. They're running some business, but their business requirements, they will develop some software and give it to them. Okay, exactly like that. Some ICICI Bank or Bank of America, they're running their business for their business needs. You are withdrawing money from ATM, right? Who will develop? Software companies only. So they develop software and sell it to clients. So that means like, IT companies develop project and deliver it to client. So which all are the projects developed by these companies were really not meeting client expectations, client requirements. Okay, so they are running some business. That is the reason they will come to you and they will ask you some project. So for that one, you will be charging some crores of investment, $1 million, $1 billion. Even though they spend that much budget, still that project not meeting their expectations, their requirement. What does it mean? They'll think about like bad, right? So that is what really happened. Okay, so at that point of time, what happened is like, which are the software projects delivering by the IT companies? Those projects were not really meeting client requirements. Okay, so that was the reason clients stopped giving projects. So clients stopped giving projects means what company does? They cannot do anything, right? So without projects, they cannot recruit even employees. So that is the thing happened. That's why all companies stopped recruiting employees. Okay, coming to the point, for any of the project or any of the company, if you take, they have to develop some project. What they do? They should follow some process, right? Internally, if you are from computers background, in your studies time, you could have studied like, software development life cycle. Software development life cycle means, in our next class I will be explaining you in detail what is software development life cycle. But as of now, different phases you will come across, like analysis, design, development, testing, release and maintenance. These are the 5 phases you will come across. So this is the process you'll try to follow for developing any of the project within your IT company. Okay, so that means like, here my point is, you are following some process for developing any of the project. So even though you are following some process, still this project is not meeting client expectations. So what does it mean? Something wrong in the process you are following. That's only the reason, right? So even though you are following some process, but still that project not meeting client expectations means, that's only the reason, right? Something wrong in the process followed by you. So during that time, companies, there means some business management people, business analysts, architects, senior management people will be there, right? So those people try conducting conferences or meetings from different companies or clients and try to find out what is the root cause. Even though we are following some process, why these projects are not meeting client expectations? What is the reason? Okay, so on that point of view, they tried conducting so many conferences and meetings and try to find out root cause and come up with root cause, like these projects were not properly tested. So that is the root cause they found. Okay, so which are the software projects they developed? Those projects were really not tested. Coming to the point, who will develop a project or who will come up with code? Developers. Normally, who will develop the project? developers, that means like who is good in programming, like that project they are using like Java. So who is good in Java, they will develop that application. Who is good in .NET, they will come up with code for that application. In our studies time you could have studied like once you come up with code, you yourself try to test your code. Exactly, within our IT company also, once developers come up with their code, they themselves try to test their code. But coming to the point, developers, what are their risky? What are their difficulties? Are like one side, they have to understand the domain knowledge. Remember one thing: you are working for any of the project, either developer or tester, they should perform their role good. Means they should get good domain knowledge. So many projects you may be aware of, like working on onshore, offshore model. So many projects, I can say like 90% of the projects, 90% of the project team members facing issues in understanding domain. Okay, so like that, not only for developers, testers also facing so many issues like understanding domain. Okay, so they have to perform their role good, means they should have good domain knowledge. So developers difficulties, if you think about, like one side they have to understand the domain, another side they have to come up with implementation for that feature. So it's not that much easy, right? You have to develop feature, you have to come up with code for a specific feature. Means even though your code is perfect, but still sometimes may not work because of like environment issues or configuration issues or some other issues. Really, once you work with a specific project, then only you will get realize all these kind of issues. Okay, so another side, like development or coming up with code is not that much easy. Okay, so actually if you are aware of like some standards like CMM level implementation or ISO certified company or Six Sigma or a Fortune 500, if you think about like those company standards, so per day, IT company working hours, if you take like how many hours, 8 hours. If you are following like agile methodology, within 8 hours, so 2 hours it will go for completely meetings. Completely you will be involving in meetings daily if you are following like agile methodology. So that means 2 hours gone. That means like remaining 6 hours only you will be working in product. So remaining 6 hours again per hour, you cannot come up with like more than 40 lines of code, more than 40 lines of code. So that means like okay, 6 hours. Within 6 hours, how much time it will go for again understanding domain? That means like 1 hour or 1.5 hour, 2 hours. So that means let us suppose 2 hours gone for understanding domain. That means like only 4 hours of time you have for coming up with code. Again, once you come up with the code, you yourself have to review it once, right? So once you review, you make your script perfect, then again you have to send it for review. That means like in IT industry, whatever the task, whatever the simple task it is, if you perform, it needs to be reviewed by somebody else. Peer reviews or or something like that. Okay, so you are sending it to your peer or your colleague for review. Your reviewer will give you review comments. Again, you have to work on review comments. That means like really 8 hours working hours per day, means 2 hours go for like understanding domain, 2 hours for meetings, 2 hours or 1 hour if you take like working on review comments or something like that. That means really for new code development you will be working 3 hours only. Within these 3 hours, again you have to test thoroughly your code. Is it really possible? It's not really possible, right? And another thing, even though we are aware of like something wrong in our code, we never try to explore. That is not your problem or my problem. That is human psychology. If we ourselves explore something wrong in my our code, we'll get a bad impression, right? So because of all these reasons, this code, whatever the code developers are coming up with, was not properly tested. So that is the root cause they found. So once they found root cause, they come up with a resolution, right? So they come up with a resolution like against to development team, we should come up with one more team. that is nothing but like testing team. Okay, so developers will be coming up with code for the application. So they, again, it doesn't mean like they don't test. They will test very high level, but not in detail all possible scenarios, all possible angles. Okay, so very high level they'll test, then send it to testers for testing purpose. So developers will be implementing the code, testers will be testing the code. So that is what they come up with resolution. So in such a manner, our testing team born. Okay. So normally what happens like around 2000 we got recession. The reason behind this is like the secondary reasons are like Y2K problem, and another thing is like World Trade Centers got collapsed. But for getting recession, these are not primary reasons. The primary reason is like which are the projects developing by IT companies. These projects are not meeting client expectations. So senior management people or company people try thinking about like what is the root cause. Okay, and conducted so many conferences and meetings and try to find out root cause, and they come up with root cause like software projects were not properly tested. So resolution they come up is like against to development team, we should come up with one motive that is nothing but testing team. In such a manner, our testing team born. Okay, here one important point. I said in the year of 2000 we got recession. They found root cause and they come up with resolution. But IT industry was there for how long? More than 80 years. More than 80 years or 100 years also. Does it mean before year 2000 or 2001 or 2002 no testing team? Not really. Earlier also testing teams were there. Earlier to 2002 or 2003 testing teams were there, but not like all the projects, like 1% or 2% of the project used to maintain testing departments, testing teams, not 100% of the projects. Okay, like very high visibility applications like operating system, Microsoft Windows 7 or Windows 8 or XP. These are high visibility applications, right? So for these kind of applications, if we think about it, like what is the development to testing ratio? One developer, 10 testers. For one developer, 10 testers, company try to recruit for this kind of high visibility applications like operating system or embedded systems, servers, satellite applications, or these kind of applications. Okay, so one developer, 10 testers. From this you get to know like what is the importance of testing. Really, than development team, testers having more and more exploring opportunities. Okay, so but this is not for all the projects but high visibility applications. So even earlier, so not all the projects maintaining like testing departments, but once they come up with a resolution like this is the resolution, each and every project whatever you are running in your company should come up with separate testing department. So then only if you remember like our IT industry spread across whole globe. Okay, so development team will be in US, and testing or something like that will be there in other countries like China, India, Japan, something like that. And managers are critical resources maybe from US, and remaining all resources from other countries. So like that people use it to maintain. So that means like testing team born freshly in the year of like 2000, around 2000 to 2005. During that time testing team born. So they come up with a resolution means every project should come up with separate testing team. So as I said, like 1 or 2% of the projects at the time were maintaining testing departments. So every project they have to come up with testing team means what they have to do? They have to recruit, right? So that means like huge requirement was there at that point of time. Really, very good requirement was there for testing at that point of time. So many of my friends also even got job by simply telling definitions. Manual testing, what is manual testing, like very simple definitions. People who used to say at the time use got the jobs. Okay, so once you get job, and another important thing is like whoever recruiting, that means like a recruitment panel, even those also have no clear idea, right, in testing process or structure or whatever the thing it is. Even they also new to testing. So that is the reason, during starting days of your testing industry, getting job is very easy and more opportunities. Okay, so once you get job, what you do? You try to explore 10 people. So those 10 people also rush into that field, right? So those 10 people also get job letters also. So 10 into 10, 100. So like that, one side competition is getting hectic, and another side interview process, interview panel also getting a chance to work on testing projects, and they're getting familiar, they're getting expertise. So one side into process is getting hectic, another side competition also getting hectic. So during starting days of your IT industry, so who all are telling testing definitions, they used to get the jobs. Then into process is getting hectic, so process level or real time scenarios or real time defects or something like that people used to ask. Then automation interaction, then automation advanced, then VB scripting or framework implementation. So these days, if you go for interview in India, especially if you go for, they'll tell you like, if you give this is the application, how you'll come up with automation framework. That is what kind of questions you may come across. But if you are in US or these countries, means you may still come across this kind of questions, but not like all cases. Okay, very rare. But in India, if you go for interview these days, means first question they will give you some project, how you will come up with automating that project. They will ask you, but here you don't want to worry. Even they ask means if you are following what are the instructions here we are providing, then absolutely you don't want to worry. Okay, so and another important thing I told, like what is the development to testing ratio, 1 is to 10. But remember, that is not the case for all projects. Okay, very high visibility applications only. But the normal development to testing ratio is 7 is to 3. 7 developers, 3 testers. And remember again, it's not like static for every project. It may get vary from project to project. It may get vary from project to project. Okay, so normal industry defined development to testing ratio is 7 is to 3. Okay, so this is little bit brief about like before going to like our testing actual course. So this is how our testing industry born. And as I told, like these days, and another thing is like even though into process got expertise and too much competition, but still who are trying seriously, really those people getting the jobs. I told already the example. Okay, like that, if you are serious. And another thing is like there are no jobs, it doesn't mean like no good, no openings. Eh, no company is going to close, right? What are the bad situation it is, they should maintain minimum number of resources. So that means they should recruit still, even peak stage also so many people got jobs during 2007 2008. During that time so many people got jobs, but not many. But who are taking seriously, those people got jobs, really 100%, there is no doubt. So like that, it depends on you. You want job means you have to work hard, you have to learn, and you have to get to know what are the things required for getting the jobs. Subject wise you have to get familiar, one side. Another side, you have to update your resume good. Then you have to approach consultancies or companies or something like that. Then once you get job, once you attend interview, then you have to make it there in the interview. So some process, some steps you have to follow. If you are following this, definitely there is no doubt you will definitely get the job. Okay. Okay, so as I told, in our IT industry, there are so many platforms, there are so many technologies available. So like Java, .NET, CBuild, Oracle Labs, testing, database, data warehousing, so many platforms available. But among all those technologies, these three are the competitive platforms like Java, .NET, and testing. For these three technologies, more and more opportunities were there in the IT industry, and that's too even more competition only for these three technologies. Okay, so even though you have too much competition for this technology, still people were getting the jobs only because of good openings. Okay, so these are the competitive technologies available. So we go for like one by one. If you go for like Java or .NET, training itself it will take 6 months, or it may take 1 year also. Java, if you take, there are so many sub components you'll come across: Java, core Java, J2E, J2EME. These all are I am aware of actually. Like there's so many tools available. Exactly, .NET if you go for, in .NET also is very big portion. So all those tools, all those things you have to learn means it's not that much easy. Okay, so training itself it will take 6 months. Within the 6 months itself, you have to practice, right? You have to practice, you have to get expertise, and you have to get familiar means again it may take 6 months, 6 more months. That means like 1 year is gone for training and getting expertise itself. But this is again best case. If you are not good in development, it may take 2 years also. So once you get familiar, you have to update your resume. You have to apply for companies, consultancies, and you have to attend interviews and you have to get the job. That means like again 6 months to 1 year it will take. So once you get a job, again what you have to do? You have to get adjust company environment. Okay, so once you get job in Java, so you have to get adjust like technically you have to get expertise one side. Okay, and another side company environment you have to adjust. So it will take again like 3 to 6 years. So that means you have to get a job and settle down in your career. If you go for Java and .NET, minimum it will take 4 years, how best you are. Okay, and maximum it may take 10 years or 8 years or 7 years or 9 years. Okay, and once you get job, how will be your career? See, before getting the job, your you will be like in heart. So you may look for like, oh, good work, good work, good hard work, or something like that. You may look, but once you get job, 1 or 2 years if you work, you will get irritated with your work. Really, IT industry is like that. Okay, sometimes what will happen is like, see, another thing, you are entering into IT industry means you have to live your personal life. Really, okay, you have to live about your personal family life or personal life. You have to ignore, just you have to you don't think even. That is the kind of situation happening IT industry. So many people, they're resigning from IT companies and looking for like training or teaching field or something like that. Why means, see, in IT industry the problem is it's not like static features or projects. Daily so many technologies, so many things will be happening. IT industry is dynamic, right? Dynamic, right? So you also have to update your skill set, otherwise you cannot survive. That is a major drawback of like your IT industry. So that's why everybody looks for like quick learner. See, calculator, or if you in your or one language C, if you go, but that is lifelong. You can learn end to end, absolute no problem. But see how many days it will be there, nobody sure. Today C having a very good brand. After few days, tomorrow Java may come up. After few days, .NET also may come. Something like that. Daily, so many things may be happening. You should be up to date. Otherwise, you cannot survive. That is the problem with your IT industry. Okay. So like that, if you will be into development, not only development, if you will be into IT industry means you have to live about your personal life. Okay, that is what you have to be prepared. Okay, so this is one thing, and thus too in development means 100% no chances for putting your efforts or spending with time with your family. 100% means you are uh, key. See, for any of the project, key contributor, key resource is like developers. Midnight, some client faced issue, they will call you. If you switch off your mobile phone, why you switch it off? Tomorrow morning they will tell you, and in during your performance review, yearly review will be there. Right? They'll cut down your. They will give bad rating if that is the case. Okay, so midnight also, you should not keep your mobile phone or switch off something like that. They are calling you means you should receive and you have to come on work. That's what. Okay, so like that, if you will be into development, midnight also like this I'm just aware of the things how it will be. Okay, it's not like I want to hurt you or fearing you or something like that. Okay, okay, so this is what happened. So that means like if you'll be into development, you are the key contributor, right? So life will be a little bit hard really. First 2 3 years it will be like interesting. After that you'll get irritate your life, IT industry life, that kind of situation. Okay, okay. So if you will be into testing, how will be the career opportunities and how will be the situation? So again in testing you'll come up with like two platforms like manual testing and automation testing. Compared to development, testing life will be little bit easy, not like best I can say, but compared to development team, testing job will be little bit easy. Okay, and even once you get job, okay, before that we go for like training. Maximum it will take 2 months. 1 month itself we can finish it up if we take 2 hours or more for that. I'm talking about like both manual testing and automation testing. If it is manual testing, 2 weeks is more than enough. Okay, so if you are good, if you are up to date in testing, really 10th class student, if you provide training and give you the job means he can do very well. Even in our company are so many people working with +2 qualification. Okay, so like that, once you get training, if you try seriously, see, as I said, one scenario, Vanita, something like that. Okay, very recently she reached Canada. Very recently she uploaded resume. Really, before uploading, she was disturbing me too much. Okay, but finally she got the job. Finally she got job. Just first interview, second interview it was. She got job immediately. Okay, like that. If you are good, one side you have to get expertise about the subject. Another side you have to upload. And another thing here you have to remember like uh, preparing. It's entirely different. Like once you attend interview, how you have to present. I mean to say here like having knowledge is entirely different like presenting in the interview. Okay, so how much you prepare in your house, it may not help you. Once you attend interview, then only you get to know like how you have to present, how you have to answer that interview question. So that is what how you get to know is like once you attend interview and keep attending interviews, then only you will get understand. Okay, so that is nothing but like so once you have to get expertise about subject, then you have to update your resume. How you can plan is like normally as soon as we finish our manual testing, you update with your resume. For finishing manual testing it doesn't take much time, 2 weeks maximum. Okay, so as soon as we finish manual testing, you can update your resume with manual testing and start uploading in portals. For finishing QTP automation front, it will take 1 month. So by that time, what you do is like in manual testing front, 2 or 3 interviews you are attending by this time. So you get to know how will be the interview, right? So as soon as we finish our automation testing, I mean like QTP, you update your resume with QTP and you start trying means you'll get job very immediately. If you go like the planned way, it's really easy to get the job. Okay, so 0 to 6 months it will take. It will take. See, and another thing is like this is a very common way I'm saying. Development, if we go for it will take 2 years for getting job. That's what I said. But most of the common situation. One of my friend got job in Java for within 3 months itself. He is working now in IBM. Yeah, as soon as He joined training. Immediately he was up to date. He started uploading resume and applying jobs. So within 3 months itself, he got job. How he got job? It's his need. That is what, if your need in getting the job, you'll definitely get the job. That is what here I'm saying. It's not like applicable for everybody. Most possible cases, that's what I meant here. Okay. So that means like 6 months for getting job, it will take 6 months. It doesn't mean like you have to wait for 6 months. You don't think like 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. Oh, we have till 3 more months for getting the job. You should not think like that. Okay. So it's most possible cases I meant. You may get within 1 month itself. You may take 6 years also. You have taken training. Nobody will come your home and give you the job, right? You have to prepare well and apply job. You have to do interview well. Then only you will get job. Otherwise, you don't get. 6 years or 6 months or 6 generations also, right? So that is what I mean to say. So then once you get the job, so you have to adjust company environment, means it may take 6 months to 1 year. See, in testing really nothing much to learn or explore. So 6 months itself more than enough. But worst case 1 year if you go for. So that means like total time for getting settled down, it's taking 1 year minimum, maximum 4 years. So for development, for settling down, how much time is taking? 4 years or 5 years minimum. But here 1 year, or I will assure you like within 2 years, you are sure like you will settle down in your career. If you go for testing, and another side, if you go for Java development side, your life will be very very hard. But if you go for testing, your life will be very easy even. Okay, you don't get that much hectic in your testing front. This is what little bit brief about like career opportunities compared to like development and testing. So this is what little bit brief, but other perspectives also will look for. So first thing is like safety. Salaries wise will look for. So industry is having like that kind of opinion. Developers get good salaries, testers get less salaries. I never agree with that really. If you are talented, it's not depends on your skill set. Okay, if you are talented, how much salary you want, you can demand. Okay, so I don't agree with like developers get more salary, testers get less salary, but very rare point of situation or very few resources it may be applicable, but overall I never agree with that. And another side, testing who will come into industry is like non-technical people or non-computers graduates. So for them, IT industry job or testing job is high, right? So whatever the salary they are getting, they don't mind it out. They never mind. So they don't expect hikes or something like that. If you think like that, so yes, testers getting less salary. But that is advantage for you. If you are little bit good in testing, if you are technically strong little bit, you can grow very fast. That is what advantage for you if you will choose your career into testing. Okay, so mostly non-technical or non-computer gadgets come into testing. So at that time, if you perform little bit well or you're a little bit talented, you can grow very fast, and meanwhile how much salary you want, you can demand. It not depends on skill set, it depends on you. Okay. So that is one thing. On-site opportunities, so this is what I will agree with, like developers having more on-site opportunities and testers have less on-site opportunities. I will agree with that. But it's not like you don't get on-site opportunities. Even testers also, 99% of cases everybody got on-site opportunity at some point of time. But it may less, it may take some time or less openings when compared to developers. Okay. And safety, this is the primary thing. So develop during recession time, developers have 100% secure their job. It doesn't mean during recession time developers not got fired. Even recent time developers also got fired. So many situations, so many real time experiences are there. But it's not like more. Okay. So and why I am covering all this stuff is like you are entering into IT industry means you should be aware of how will be the industry. Then if you get to know, you will plan accordingly. That is what my intention. Okay. So it's not like scaring you. Okay, please don't mind it up. Just I want to get to know all the stuff. So in testing you will get like two platforms, like manual testing and automation testing. If you will be into manual testing, first people if there is any bad kind of situation means companies look for firing manual testers first. Why means even though they fire, they can recruit very well, very easily whenever the situation comes up or requirement comes up. Okay. So but here I have one alternative. How many IT companies are there? You can say like thousands, right? Thousands of IT companies were there. During recession time, how many companies were closed? Can we say? You can count in fingers, right? I mean to say like not all companies closed. Very few companies, like Satyam also during recent time it was closed. Rather very few companies, you can count in fingers. What does it mean? So many companies, they are running their businesses. Okay. So any of the company they have to run their business means at least they have to maintain minimum number of resources. When market is good, 20 people company is managing. Market is bad, they may reduce 4 or 5 people. That means like they may handle that project with 12 people or 13 people or 15 people. That means if they want to fire 4 or 5 people, they will fire. They cannot fire 20 people, right? If that is the situation, if you will be into manual testing, if you perform well, you yourself create impression like you are the key contributor. Without you, that project cannot go ahead. If you get that kind of impression, then your job will be safe. Even you'll be into manual testing. If you create that kind of impression, then your job is safe. 100%. There is no doubt. Okay? So even if you get fired, if you are talented, you'll get job somewhere definitely. There is no doubt. Okay? So that is the situation like if you will be into manual testing. But if you will be into manual testing like very bad situations you're coming across, keep in mind, keep observing IT industry and make your job stability play as a key contributor for that project. That's what I can suggest. Okay. And if you will be into automation testing, your job will be as safe as like as secure as like developers. Okay, your job will be 100% secure. Okay, so this is a little bit brief about like career opportunities. So then how long course duration? If you will be into manual testing, it will take 2 weeks. Automation testing also involved means 1.5 month. It may take 1 more week also. Like we plan actually 1.5 week, 1.5 month. In middle, we may get some disturbances or something like that means it may get extend 1 more week. Okay, 7 weeks, something like that. So course contents and everything you can get it from my link, whatever the link I have shared already. If you have any more questions you can ask me at the end of my session. Live projects, so everything we'll be discussing in such a manner like taking live scenarios only. In our course I will never talk with like definitions or something like that. Okay, so entirely like real-time scenarios. One concept if we take, how you'll be implementing, which kind of scenarios you'll take, it will be like purely real-time scenarios we'll be discussing. Okay, so do you provide any automation tools for practice? So in automation front, qtp tool I'll provide you and even help you in making like license version. Okay. And some tools you don't have crack, even you don't have license, so those one trial versions. But mostly qtp, even those one also I'll provide but limited. So these are the very common questions from most of the students I'll come across. I have unmuted all. So, if you have any questions, this is the right time for you to ask. Okay? Any questions, anybody? You there? Yeah. It, it will be like 5 days. Even I don't mind taking 7 days a week if all of you feel comfortable. Okay? Yeah, 8:30 to 10. 1.5 hour will plan. 8:30 to 10. Okay? Yeah. Any more questions? Yes, right. We already started. And the thing is like our actual course start from tomorrow. Okay, so this is like introduction class. So very high level. We were discussed about testing history and career opportunities. But tomorrow session will start up with our actual class and course. I have all soft copies. Okay, all the soft copies. I will email it to you as soon as you enroll. Okay, and videos also I will be sharing you. So that is 1 year access, completely free. So if you missed some class or something like that, means you can go to those videos. Even in future you want to refer some point again, you can refer very well those video sessions. I have so many options I have provided, right? Through PayPal or India account you have, means online you can make, or Western Union, or US bank account you have, means even US bank account also I can provide. Okay. It's not like whatever the day I'm taking the session, that day I will share the videos. Yeah, as soon as you enroll, my previous classes videos are there, right? So I'll be sharing those videos immediately as soon as you enroll. Okay, immediately you'll be getting all videos access, and I'll share even your sessions whatever I'm taking, but it will take some time. So I have to upload and grant you access, right? So that means like you'll be getting two sets of videos. So one set previous classes, previous batches classes, and your classes also, but your videos it will take some time. Okay, any more questions? uh, if nobody have no more questions, means we'll end up our session. Thank you so much for your time. Tomorrow same time we'll meet up again. Okay, okay, that's fine. Thanks for your time. Have a good night. See you. Fine. Bye bye.